the City of Angels is black and gold. You are listening to the Heart of LAFC podcast. And now, Joseph Zacher.
Greetings, Los Angeles. Welcome to episode 422 of the Heart of LAFC podcast. I call this one Taking Shape as the boys get plenty of games in preparation. They prepare for the Coachella Invitational. Yeah, it's happening. Season's coming up quick, so we're going to talk about all of that stuff. Of course, there's some rumors. There's some signings. There's a kit league. Yeah, we're going to cover it all today. It's going to be a busy one. That is for sure. And to have fun with it, let's introduce our crew for today. We've got Araceli, we've got Bam, and we've got Tony. That's right. The Avengers have assembled. Araceli, how are you doing?
I'm actually doing really well, honestly. We're finally out of that cold front and getting into our fall spring. I think it's supposed to get up to like 68 degrees over here over the weekend. So I'm excited for that, honestly. But otherwise, really, just like everyone else, getting ready for the new season to start for MLS and Next Pro, which, of course, I do have updates for LAFC too, but get into that much later. But otherwise, everything else as well.
Well, happy you're able to dig out of all that madness, for sure. I mean, seeing it where the snowbank is actually now an ice bank, it's a whole nother level. That's for sure. But happy to hear it's warming back up again. I think we're going to actually have rain next week, so isn't that weird? We'll reverse the tables a bit. Bam, how are you doing, sir?
I'm going all right. Would rather have some money taken in my bank account by FIFA right now, but at the moment, that's still sitting in there. I've only gone for one game. I only want one game in LA. That's all I've gone for. But time will tell. I've got the A-League on the side here. I've got Wellington versus Melbourne Victory in Wellington. So it was a nice 5 p.m. kickoff for me. Currently in the 29th minute, Victory up 1-0. And it stays 1-0. So not going too bad.
That's pretty darn good, man. A lot of good football coming up really quick. We got the J League tomorrow, right? Their 100-year tournament, they call it, because they're switching to the fall schedule, and this is a mini season. So that's kicking off tomorrow. You got the Olympics. CONCACAF Champions Cup is already happening. That's like, wow, we're here already. Watching the San Diego game, that was rather entertaining, that's for sure. But yes, there is a lot to watch. There's a lot going on. And yes, we'll be enough in this.
You also got the Chinese Super League kicking off soon, where a lot of clubs, half the clubs are on negative points to begin with.
Yeah, they've been bad boys. They got caught. So I don't want to go into how bad it is, but I think somewhere like negative 15, right?
Mm-hmm.
Somewhere around there, like from the lowest is like -5, and you've got some that are up to negative 15. So it's quite interesting to say the least.
Starting the season with a league telling you to go away, not a good way to go. That's for sure. So yeah, have fun with that, guys. Let's watch that. That should be very entertaining. And of course, Tony is in the mix. He's got his replica World Cup trophy next to him. He's probably not on the waiting list like Bam and I trying to get these World Cup tickets and being like 0 for 3 on a lottery, but you doing all right, man?
I'm doing pretty well. I'm not 0 for 3 because it's just I think my bank account can't handle those tickets for anyone. Again, even in Europe, people are complaining about them. I think at this point, I might as well be on the waiting list for a watch for the fan events and everything that's going on, and those have been announced. But overall, doing well. Excited for the new season. So how it's going to go, and again, it's going to be a very long season because again, we also have the regular season, playoffs, the mini season, and then we're finally to our original season of the new spring to fall. I think spring to summer.
Yeah, I mean, this is our last traditional preseason.
Mm-hmm.
This is it. This is the last time we're going to have a full summer season. This is it. Since 96, everybody. Yeah, we're enjoying the last one. And then like what the J League's doing this week already, we'll be playing that same setup where we're doing a mini season. So yeah, enjoy it. This is going to be our last long haul season through the dog days of summer. including a break in the World Cup. So it's going to be even more unique. As Tony says, things are taking shape, right? Things are getting together. The season is upon us. We now have the jersey rumor, which is a lot of fun to talk about. So as I say it, let's get into it. Let's go for this. Let's talk about it. So yes, the leak came out. It looks pretty legit to me from footy headlines. Just as they were suggesting, it was going to be based off of something that you saw in the stadium if you've been there long enough. Tony, you want to describe what this thing looks like? Because it's pretty amazing.
To be honest, if you go look it up, it's very it's a very year one jersey. You know, the very Art Deco actually. So, but again, if you ever been to the stadium, you ever walked by near the club store, you'll see where the inspiration comes from. And you know, it's a V collar, which is for my dad one of his favorite ones. So it's not gonna choke your neck. And you know, it's very simple, very clean, very easily. Again, we've only seen the replica version, so we don't know how the authentic is going to look. But it's going to be a pretty penny, and like we all know, if you have seen the World Cup jersey sales or jersey prices, you know that's similar to what Adidas with their MLS prices are going to be as well.
I've already taken that hit on a Germany kit, so a couple actually, and it's a big difference between the authentics and the replicas, a massive difference. And yes, the leaked image definitely is the replica. If you look at it in the back, it's completely black. I have a funny feeling it won't be like that on the authentic. Also, there's no jock tag listed there. The logo and all that, it'll be a different material altogether. And I have a feeling the shoulders, because if you look at the way the shoulders are kind of looking, I think you're going to see a difference there. But that being said, the pattern is really cool. And like I said, if you walk into the main lobby, you can't miss that pattern. It's the back wall, right? And if you go back and forth, say you're doing TIFO setups or something like that, just saying, you'll see it. You'll see it. Even if you head up to the club after the game, you walk by that. So it's a good fit. It really is a nice way to connect the stadium to it. And you know, we were looking at all 5 jerseys right now in the image that we're messing with here, and I gotta be honest, it might be, to me, one of the best. Top 2, I'd say. It's good. This is a good one, that's for sure. Araceli, you've seen the league jersey. Your thoughts?
No, I absolutely love it. Like I'm looking at the images right now and I agree with you. For me personally, it would be in my top 3. I mean, of course, still waiting to see it in person to see if it has that full wraparound kind of design. But personally, I love it. It's, you know, it has some uniqueness to it. It ties to the stadium well. And for even people that don't live in the area, it kind of like it gives you that piece of the stadium, no matter where you are in the world or in the country.
It's gonna look really nice with a Sun jersey. I'm just saying. It is cool. It really is cool. Of course, I think Bam's digging it too, right? You like all the patterns.
I do. As I've always said, is until you see it in person, you can't get a real feeling of what it actually looks like. Going by all the renderings, all the leaked photos, and all we've seen, it does look all right, but until you actually see it in person, you know, you can't really say too much what it's going to be like. I do like the fact that it has that gold tinge all through it. But to me, it's going to be interesting to see what it's like when you actually get it in your hands, and especially to try it on too, because as the boys knows, I always buy an authentic. I've got an authentic every home and away kit, so going to be interesting to see what it's like as an authentic. That's for sure.
Yeah, and the cut should be interesting too, because this is the first time that I've seen Adidas for say the World Cup jerseys this year. They went to 4XL. They never do that, and this time around they did it for pretty much all the national teams. Are they gonna do it with these guys too? I mean, you don't know. Could be interesting. So looking forward to it. Of course, there is an event as well. Tony, do you want to give them the heads up on what the season ticket holders are going to get to enjoy next week?
So there's going to be a sunny mural in Koreatown. It's going to start at 5:00. It's, you know, this usually the events have been always different. Like I remember the first one was in like there's a kind of little pop up like near a gas station, near an old gas station that was kind of cool that we did. The last one was at the stadium with the cool events with, you know, local vendors in the area and everything, which was also a cool event. But this time it's going to be in K-Town. with the unveiling of a new Sunny mural. So yeah, so if you have an opportunity, you can line up and get your chance to get the jersey for the first time. Again, we'll explain this really quickly. It will be for most MLS teams, buying it at the stadium or near it is different than buying it at Fanatics. The reason I say that, because the logos are also different. You get the MLS patches, you get the Apple TV patches, while the Fanatics, you don't get those patches as well.
Yeah, it's always going to be a little bit different when you get it from Fanatics, and it takes forever. That's the thing. Like when you do it this way, you're going to get it within the week. Sometimes they won't get it done in time that night. Be prepared for that. We might have to pick it up at the stadium at a later time. But you go to Fanatics, you might wait 2 weeks. You might wait 3 weeks. It sometimes takes a while to get or more. I think Bam's dealt with worse, right?
I've dealt with ordered authentics, get sent replicas, said, no, sorry, that's all you're getting unless you want to send it back. And then sending it back and forth. It's just, especially if you're international, it's not worth the hassle going through Fanatics. It's a lot of the whole, if you are international and you really want the home kit, hit me up when I'm over there in June or September. I'll happily go buy one and I'll ship it out to you. It's just, it's not worth the hassle with Fanatics. It's too hard. They're useless to deal with. Their customer service is horrendous. So just don't do it.
Right. And then even if you get one on Adidas, of course, you can't get it customized through Adidas. And I've noticed from time to time, sometimes the sponsor's not on the front. It just comes with plain from Adidas. It gets pretty random when you get them from Adidas. So that might be good for some of us. I wouldn't mind not having sponsors on my kit. But yeah, the surefire thing, of course, is going through the HQ. So we'll see how that goes. I'm looking forward to the event. I'll do my best to be there. I think Tony's going to do his best to be there as well to enjoy the event. Some perks for the season ticket holders as well in terms of customization on site. So yeah, that too. All right. On top of that, of course, the other rumor that I think everybody's been chewing on for the week has been the Bouanga rumors. Can't beat around the bush on this one. I think it was a shocker for everybody to hear even it coming up. First, we laughed at Miami when we rejected their bid. Ha ha. And then Fluminense comes in with, I guess, a $15 million bid, or at least that's what they were told. If they wanted to even kick the tires, that's what it would cost them. Of course, that created some drama online. Whoever's on, the cesspool known as X, all of us, right? You saw a lot of pressure conversations regarding some of their fan base that was pretty toxic in the lead up, kind of denigrating our club and all that fun stuff. And it's kind of like, I'll say it right now, money talks, bullshit walks. If your club's going to afford it and be able to actually pay it, then they'll get the deal. If they're not, I guess you can whine about it and talk smack about our club. Whatever it is, that's how it goes. This is business, right? Grown-ups here. If you can't do it, you can't do it, right? If the price is right, your team will make the move. That's how it works. Bam, your thoughts. Are we actually going to be selling Bouanga, or is this just kick the tires stuff?
I think we will end up selling him just because I think they're going to come back with a lot more, another bid, which will be a bit higher, which I think as a club that from the get-go's been, we are a selling club, I do expect us to eventually do sell him. I would like it closer to 20 million than the 15 that's going around at the moment, but it's one of the things where if they can come up with the funds, which to be fair they should, seeing that they're estimated to be around 390 million US dollars as a club, they should have that money, and they are a big club. So hey, you want him, come pay for him, plain and simple.
Exactly. Right? You got to pay a premium for a player that's at his level. He's 31 years old. He's still got plenty of football in him. So if that's what it's going to be, then, for LAFC, money-wise, if it's going to make sense, they'll make the move, as painful as it is for all of us. But, yeah, you got to make that right move. Araceli, your thoughts on this potential deal right before the season starts?
I mean, let's be honest. I think the writing is on the wall there already. Whether if it's this deal is going to be made this year or next year, there's no doubt that Bawanga is very talented, very sought after. As you pointed out, he's 31. He still has plenty of years under his belt still. Because I think it's very reminiscent of when the rumors were popping up about Arango of where he was going to go. It kind of feels like that again all over with Bawanga, but I feel like this is something we've kind of seen coming for the last 2 seasons already. Of course, on a personal level, I don't want to see him go, but hey, if it's better for his career, all the best luck to him. But just like any rumor, I do my best to reserve any opinions till there's actual ink to paper.
Exactly. You got to get it across the line. If they don't, oh well, wait till the summertime at the next window. I think that would be the other conversation as well. And I do believe with the World Cup situation and Bwanga's side not making it, I think that changes the dynamic a bit. If his team had made it, I don't think this is happening right now. It's pushed down the line, but we're here. So we'll see what happens. Tony, your thoughts on all of this?
Honestly, just if like I said, there's some things in the background that I feel like is more ego based of why these moves are moving forward. But again, 20 million, that's the number that Bam threw out, and that's the number I agree with as well. Until that is paid and afforded, I don't want no payment plans. I don't want this or that. If it's straight up, this is how we do it. If you can't afford that, then go have a conversation with another one, because there's been players with less caliber sold for a less, like, close to this what you're asking, and you're not getting this caliber of player. Again, no one was like, I
Yeah.
don't want to say this is the best way. No one was talking about Bawanga until we picked him up. He succeeded, and he just needed the right system. Now he's one of the faces of the MLS, and now everybody wants a piece of that.
Yeah, that's the business of it, right? Yeah, the other rumor was that they wanted to do partial payments, and yeah, I don't think so. I think we're gonna play ball with that. So we'll see what happens next. Again, I hope he stays and we can deal him in the summer if he wishes to go, because you already know what'll happen in the summer with us. There'll be the infusion of players after the World Cup and people going everywhere after that World Cup. A lot of new faces and names that we're not even familiar with will feature in this tournament, and so you'll see some other deals occur. But right now, this is where we're at. We'll see how it plays. Of course, the other funny rumor, of course, because it is silly season, was the Cristiano Ronaldo rumors. Yeah, that's a little more silly season, right? He's getting paid some crazy money where he's at right now, and there's nobody I think that could afford what they're willing to pay. And he would have to definitely take a pay cut if he came this way. And of course, I think it would have to trigger another move before that could happen. Bam, should you even entertain that thought, or is it just silly season?
To me, it's a silly season. If you want to come to the MLS, come to the MLS. If you want a high paying, I don't think that we should be paying what he wants. He could have came years ago and gotten that money. Now, I think he's just too well set in the Middle East. So, for me, I'd rather go find 3 great players for his salary than pay his salary. Plain and simple.
Right. Find the next Bawanga, right?
Yeah.
That's
find the next Bawanga.
what we do.
Find another Ordaz. Find another player that we can sell off overseas and do that. I don't want us becoming a certain club that buys these old, aging, big name players that come for a year and then go on.
41-year-old risk. Yeah,
exactly. I don't want to go get the old Beckhams. I don't want to go get all those ones where you sit there and go, why? He'll come run around for a little bit, and then what's going to happen? One injury and they're cooked for a long time. I'd rather us keep funding these young talented players that everyone sits there and goes, how do they find this person? I want to be that type of club, plain and simple.
Right. Unless it's a sweetheart move like we got with Chiellini, like we got with Bale, where it's not cost much of anything and we get this super player, then it makes sense. But at this, yeah, that's a tough one. Of course,
Well,
there is a hat box in the mail, right, guys? That we haven't
there
heard
is.
who it is yet. Yeah.
But,
Who is the
yeah.
rumored player? Anybody want to bring that one up?
Is it the Canadian?
I believe
That's what I'm
so.
thinking.
I think it's from Betis, if I remember right. That's the guy that we were talking to. Well, there's
Yeah,
From Porto.
Estaquillo?
from Porto. Thank you.
Right.
I was like,
Yeah.
Estaquillo, right?
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
it was Esquil.
There you go. So Canadian international, killing it with Porto, to be honest. I think if this is the deal we're getting, it's a big one for us. This is the kind that Bam mentions, right? The guy that's like, we got a little show here, right? This is the one you're looking for, this type of player?
Yeah, this is the type of player I want us to try and get. 7 Escotito. He's Canadian national player. This year alone, made 8 appearances for Porto. What was it? He's gone through, played most of his time in Portugal, had a little adventure into Mexico with Cruz Azul. But yeah, he's playing for Porto. And when Porto get a player of this type of person, then he's going to be quite good. Yes, he's 29, so he's got 5 years left. Yeah, a couple of years left on him. This is the type of time that we should be going to get these players. The whole, yes, you're coming to you're not at the end of your career, you're getting into the beginning of your twilight. Come back to, your home continent. Start playing here, be closer to home. See your days here. This is what we should be doing.
Yep. Also, that being said, his position's important, right? Igor Jesus is not coming back very soon. We need somebody in that role that can hold midfield, that can distribute the ball, that can settle a team down, right? And you can't rely on 1 or 2 guys to do that all year. You need depth at that. And now you have a player that's actually probably going to be in the World Cup, right? So he's hungry. He's coming here for a reason. Yeah, this is good. This is good. This is exactly what we need. We need to settle things in our midfield. And I think the moves we've made kind of help to do that. Bam.
So I'm just on Transfer Market looking up his stuff. There's a little further information tab on there. He has an exit clause in his contract.
Interesting.
Take a guess in euros how much it will cost for the exit clause.
I couldn't even imagine.
60 million.
We gonna pay that?
That's if we don't negotiate. If we just want to turn around and go, here's 60 million, give it to us now. But if a club turn around and said to him, we want him now, he's 60 million, he's out of your contract, done.
They're really afraid of him getting poached.
Yeah.
That's a fear. Okay.
The thing is too, his contract expires 30th of June 2027. So he's only got like a year left.
So if you're gonna make a move, this is the time to do it.
Yeah, this is the perfect time for Porto to make some money off him too. He's got 18 months left at the club. If you want to get some money, do it now. Obviously, that 60 million exit clause was put in when he first signed back in 2022.
Interesting. And we have like the highest line of credit of any team in the league right now, as we've seen. So, hey, can't hurt. Ursula, your thoughts on this move? Potentially?
I don't know. I mean, I don't know much about the player himself to really comment on the style per se, but I mean, if LAFC thinks that these type of players can work for us, then hopefully. But I'm very much in the same boat as Bam, and I feel like I've even mentioned this, if not last season, maybe the season before, but I would much rather for the club go after younger talent than someone who's already older, but I don't know. We'll see. Depends on what the contract says, I guess. But I do have a question for you guys, just out of curiosity, kind of shifting into league news. What are your thoughts about Minnesota signing James Rodriguez?
James to Minnesota. So I don't want to be mean. I like James Rodriguez, but he has a tendency to be a monster with his national team and kind of a guy that feels like playing from time to time and not playing from time to time for his club side. There's some inconsistencies there. So there is a little risk with him. Now, in terms of his talent, it's immense. There's no question. But is he going to be a week in, week out MLS guy, like grinding it? That's the question to ask. Tony's shaking his head. What are your thoughts, man?
I don't want to say overhyped. Kind of. He's great player. Like, you know what I mean? Creative, can do the stuff. Didn't do much in the Liga MX, but you're also going into the hardest travel away days in the world. Let's be honest. Like, there's nothing that can compare to traveling in the US, playing game in, game out every week. So, and you have that, like I said, he had a great World Cup. Everyone knows the World Cup. Everyone knows the goals. Everyone saw the potential.
Yeah.
And then after that, he just didn't live up. He's almost the reverse Michael Owens. If we want to go back to star, blew up,
Throwback, man.
but unfortunately, Michael got the injury bug with Rodriguez. He just never lived up to the potential after that World Cup.
Yeah, that's always been my thought with him. Bam, what are you thinking outside of? Well, yeah, what do you think? James to MLS.
Look, as long as he plays like he plays at club when they come against us, I'm all for it. You know, it would be a good signing for Minnesota, free agent, so you're not paying to get him, all that kind of stuff. You know, you could probably get him for, you know, $2 million a year or something like that, somewhere where he still has some potential left, but you got to sit back there and go, what type of player you're going to get? You're going to get a World Cup standard player, or you're going to get him recently formed club and all that. I think, too, going to Minnesota, he won't be under as much scrutiny from the newspapers in that town compared to other places around the country, around the world, sorry. So for me, I think it's a smart move if he does go there. You know, if he was to go back and play in Colombia or Spain, the scrutiny he'll be getting is ruthless. Where going to MLS, he can just fly under the radar, except for fans like you and me, or in other MLS fans.
Right. I think for Minnesota, this is a coup. Let's be honest. Like, this is a name player heading to Minnesota, right? They've struggled to find star players. They've struggled to have guys that they sign that'll stay. They've also had that issue too. So it's really, really big for them to have somebody to hang on to here. A name player, a guy can sell some jerseys. Nice jerseys too over there. But it's good. He's gonna have to get the star treatment. He should get the star treatment. That's great. Again, I hope he produces, not against us, of course, not against us, but yeah, good for Minnesota. They honestly need to have a spark like this in their squad. So, Araceli, your thoughts on the move?
I mean, coming for Minnesota, it's definitely one of those teams that you wouldn't expect it. So news-wise, it is good for them on that front, and hopefully he is able to produce for them. And coming to MLS, I mean, players have said it again and again from any team that they don't face the type of scrutiny from other countries, or fans tend to be more respectable of their, when they're out in the public, just like how Messi can go to the grocery store. Obviously people still see him and report on it, but kind of, sort of. So having that type of security, I guess, it's best for him. I mean, for me, I'm very much just like Messi. I respect him as a player, but he's not one of my favorites. So I'll just leave it at that because I don't want to get in trouble with my job. But
Right. It is what it is. They're the defending champions. Yeah. And we got to play them very soon. So that too. Yeah, no, good for him. I will say this. to have a coup signing there, and then also one in Vancouver right last year, the big shock signing. New faces, new teams that you aren't expecting. Maybe we're going to see a trend of this in the league where actually, big name players are going to go to markets that aren't typical, which is also a sign of growth in the league. So, yeah, good on them.
If you want to talk about that, then you kind of have to give a heads up to the Smurfs San Jose.
That's another big one. That is, you're right. So, former Salzburg star, not Salzburg. Yeah, you know who, Red Bull. Yeah, interesting. That's another interesting move. But yeah, again, new faces, new teams, different markets. Maybe this is the new trend for the league. So good on all of them. All right. That being said, preseason, of course, is upon us. It's happening. We got a good result against that team, right? Against San Jose. Closed door, I guess, for that one. A lot of faces familiar in it. I think 70% of the lineup actually got featured, and they said that one was the one where you'd see more starters than the next one. So yes, that is happening. Preseason, I think, has looked pretty solid so far, minus whatever the results are. But you're hearing some things where they're tinkering with actually the shape of the club, trying new things out and getting ready and really focusing on Real España as the main focus. There's a good article on the website about it, so definitely check it out. Now, in terms of the next game, they will be playing again at the Empire Polo Club in Indio. It'll be against New York City FC on Sunday at noon. I know, Super Bowl Sunday. What? Yeah, that is what's happening. The nice thing is it'll actually be televised and broadcast locally, so you can watch this one, everybody. It'll be on Fox 11 Plus, which is channel 13 here in LA, but it will also be on LAFC's YouTube channel for people like Bam to be able to watch, and Araceli, so they can actually see it. They did mention that it might not look like the starting lineup you'd expect, but hey, that's how preseasons work. You will still see some faces, familiar ones, some new faces too, so that will be good as well. The other interesting fact is also LAFC2 will be staying out there after the rest of the side leaves, because they're going to be playing a game on the 11th against Charlotte FC. So that is what's going on. Of course, the season comes up soon enough. Araceli, I'm going to jump over to you and talk about the LAFC2 effect, since I just mentioned they are going to stay on a little bit longer out in Indio. What is going on with the club right now?
So there's some good news coming from LAFC2. The rosters are finally starting to shape up. First off, we have a new signing. Last week, the club signed Charlie Kosakov through the 2026 season with an option for 2027. He's a 21-year-old forward that joins the Black and Gold after having a breakout season with Ballard FC in the USL League 2. In addition to that, the team exercised contract options for Tommy Mihalik and Sebastian Nava through this season. And Eric Diaz signed a loan extension from the Panamanian side, Toro FC, through the 2026 season. Both Mihalik and Nava, they were both key players for LAFC2 last year, as well, performed well in the first round of the Open Cup. And Diaz, just much like Mihalik and Nava, he played 19 out of 22 matches. So I'm very excited to see kind of the core group come back for this season. Of course, I checked the website. They don't have any roster names yet, so I can't really theorize on who's staying, who's going, or what. But like I said, the roster is starting to shape up. The only thing that's missing still is a head coach. Hopefully that announcement is coming soon, because season starts very soon. So Tony, get ready just in case. But anyways,
You might have to lead training sessions, Tony. That's just how it's going to be, man.
But just a quick reminder on that. Their season does begin on the road in Tacoma on Sunday, March 1st with a 7 o'clock kickoff. And it's actually the start of a 4-game road series. They'll be on the road for all of March on Wednesday, April 15th against Portland Timbers 2. And of course, as always, when it gets closer, I'll be giving you guys reminders, and hopefully by then we have a better picture of what the team looks like.
Yeah, for all we know, one of the assistants are simply going to take the role. Uh, it's interesting, that's for sure. I did forget to mention. I'll circle back to it for the main team. They will have one other preseason match, a closed door against Cholos, exactly, right before they get into the CONCACAF tournament. So that is happening too. Yeah, Tijuana, sometime next week, closed door. So there's that. All right, now. That being said, I do see some comments from our faithful. I did want to check in with you guys, see where you're at, see where your reactions are right now. So let's do it. See about 6 comments. Who is on tonight? Q, first in the mix here. Q in the queue says the gang's all here. Yep, we're back, man. Dave is also in the mix. He says, let's do this, familia. Then we have some genius that stuck in 1996. And then Dave says 20 million for Bouanga. I agree with Bam and Tony. That's got to be right. Pot's got to be right. And then Dave, yes, thank you for mentioning Boudry. He's the other one we mentioned last week that was heading our way. I am too. We haven't had a real good offensive-minded midfielder, like midfielder that could play a cam role, that can run at a line, that can shoot from distance. That kind of changes the dynamic, and it also opens up the rest of that 3-man mid. If we're going to stick with 3, that might change because of the versatility of some of the new faces on our side. So yeah, I'm excited too. I'm really excited. I think the midfield is going to have a different vibe this year. That's for sure. A little more control, a little more possession. Last year was a lot of the back and forth stuff, and transition became an issue at times. But hey, I'm looking forward to it. That's for sure. So those are the comments I see right now from the faithful. Definitely, guys, keep them coming as we continue on with the episode. We will get to you guys at least one more time before closing this bad boy out tonight. So go for it. That is for sure. All right, moving on. I did want to, before we talk about the new squad and how we see things might shape up, let's talk a little bit about the club and community, Tony. I know there's a lot of good recruiting events coming up and some other things. What's going on in the community, sir?
A lot of meet and greets are happening this weekend with the season, or this weekend with the season starting. It's really quick. Just to kind of go do it really quickly. Black Army will be having a meet and greet this Saturday at Brujeria, 5 p.m. There'll be some raffles, giveaways, stuff like that there. TSG will be having their meet and greet at Eastwood, LA at 7 p.m. And then Empire Boys are going to have a brawl crawl 2 days on. So the first one is on Saturday, which is they start at Lamppost at Lamppost Pizza at 11 a.m. It's transferred to Lake Alice, to Arbru, to Rowdy's, to Golden Road. And then the next day, they're going to have 2 just separate ones on a brawl call, just meet up at Golden Road in Anaheim, and one at Outpost Cafe.
Ooh, all the way to Anaheim. Check them out.
Yeah.
Crawls are fun, guys. Good stuff for you. That's cool. Anything else we got, sir?
Just as we talked about earlier in the day, is the jersey release party. It's coming up soon, so that's going up. And then, of course, we're almost coming up to it's more of a club news kind of thing. The Halloween game has been changed to November 1st instead of October 31st. So no Halloween game this year. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, against James and Minnesota, that match. Speaking of James.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's that match. So yeah, I guess it moves to what, the 2nd or something like that, or
the first, the next day.
Yeah, I'm happy about that. My kids didn't want to be stuck at the stadium on Halloween. Come on, that just kills tradition right there. So I'm happy with the move. Dad talk, right? There you go. I also do want to add in, for those of you who have season tickets, the pricing came out for season parking.
$250 a game. You can park a mile away.
Oh, not the World Cup parking, thank goodness. No, it was the $700 and something $45 a game season ticket package for
my god,
parking. Yeah, $45 a game, everybody, to park at the place we've parked all this time.
So
I know it's basically costing as much for a World Cup ticket as it is to park your car for LAFC games, and it's way more than your season ticket. So, yeah, it's rough, man. That's where my, dad mode, right? Oh, I gotta park
So
at the
40
games.
So 45 a game. So I mean, pre-sale would be technically 45 as well, maybe 50, and then game day is
Could be
usually
60 this
yeah. That's
Would
what
be
I would say.
surprised if it's 60. Because it is higher than last year. So that means everything goes up. But that does include parking for the game against Miami.
Oh
So
God! Oh God! I don't even want to know.
there is that.
Oh,
Yeah,
God,
I know I
realize
have to
that.
go there. It's coming fast. So yeah, that's happening too. So if you need to buy your season parking, even if it's that expensive, it will sell out, and it is a bulk charge. You don't have a payment plan on this one. You just got to get hit. That's how it runs. So there you go. I know. All fine and dandy, but hey, go out to the supporter events. They're going to be a lot of fun this year. That bar crawl from the boys in the IE, uh, that's intense, guys. So good on you for having fun with that. But yeah, definitely check out the supporter groups. Everyone is super welcoming. It is a fun group of people for all of them. Honestly, you can't lose. You can't lose. So yeah, have fun with that. All right, moving on from that, of course, tradition is to always do the Rock and Roll Vinyl Club minute. We're going to ignore that one. We're going there. So do we have any thoughts tonight? I had one. Did you guys have any other nominations for this?
I've got one, and I'm going completely out to left field for this.
Nice.
So, at 11 a.m. LA time tomorrow, what's happening around the world?
11 a.m.
Opening ceremonies of the Olympics.
Exactly. So I'm going with an Italian rapper called Gali and his song Happy Days.
Wow. In honor of Milano Cortina, where, come on, Tony, you should know better. Opening ceremony is going to be at the San Siro.
So you go
Yeah.
there.
The place that is going to be retired very soon, correct? It is
Yeah.
leaving. It's going bye-bye.
Sad day.
Yeah. 90 World Cup final. There's so much history at that place. But it is going away. But they are going to have this beautiful event tomorrow. So check it out. Have fun with it. I'm sure they're going to make it an amazing event. I mean, France was wild the last time, but at least this one's going to be in stadium and a little more predictable, I think.
Yeah.
Have
And
fun
also,
with that one. Yes.
Like, I've gone with a singer who will be performing at the opening ceremony as well. I could have went with the American that's going to be performing, but I'm like, nah, I don't want to do that.
I don't know either. So mine, I'm going to go back old school. I'm going to go with Beastie Boys, talking about, selling your leading scorer right before the season starts. Yeah, Beastie Boys' Ill Communication song, Sabotage, because it does feel like we're sabotaging things in the short run here if we are making this move. So that was where my head was at. So there was mine. But I like your Italian stuff. We haven't had any Italian music really pop up, so that's cool, man. That's cool. So that's our choices. There you go. All right. I know usually we go into the final thoughts, but we're not doing that yet because we don't want to talk a little bit about the squad and how things are shaping up. I know. I'm not done yet. We're going to have a few more minutes and then we'll get out of here. Saw LAFCX did pop up a depth chart. So I'm like, that's cool, man. I'll play along with that one. So yeah, he basically popped it up showing where it could fit if we are going to stay with that 4-3-3 or just that crazy wing back fun. It's interesting. It's really interesting. Of course, Lloris and Hassal are goalkeepers. No shock there. We did lose another goalkeeper in the offseason. You know who it was. But yeah, those are the two that are featuring right now. In terms of squad depth at center back, Porteous and Tafari are healthy right now. Segura, happy birthday to you, sir. He's healthy right now. So those three have been featuring mostly in the preseason matches. Nielsen is the new face, right? Pretty new face, right? He's there. And then Long and Del Valle are still in the men, but coming back. Maybe we'll actually see Del Valle actually play this year. Let's hope. And then Long coming back sooner rather than later. Tony, I go to you. Those are the six that we see that are the choice center backs that will be platooning for the year. Are we in need of more, man? Are you feeling good about this?
I think we just need one more just to like keep because we've always had trouble moving forward with just health issues. You know what I mean? Older age, we ain't getting younger. So I think just one more, maybe two, and I'll be okay with it.
There we go. I'm feeling the same. It would have been lovely to see Zimmerman into that lineup. It didn't happen, but man, that would have been cool. There's me. All right. Now, on the outsides, Smolikov and Hollingshead on the left, Palencia, Raposo on the right. It's kind of what we had last year. No changes right there. And I don't think we need to change anyways, right, Bam? They were good.
No, I agree. For me, I would like to see, and this is just for pure greed, I want to see Smolikov start over Hollingshead a bit more.
I have a feeling we will. Don't you think?
I hope so. Like, don't get me wrong, Hollingshead still is a great player and all that, but I'm more looking at moving on. I'd rather start seeing Smolikov a lot more to make sure that's what we need. Otherwise, we can just go out there and try and get someone in the next transfer window. But for me, I would like to see Smolikov a lot more because I'm pretty sure this might be Hollingshead last year contracted to us.
I think so. He did feature in the last match, looked good, but they said those getting most of the minutes in this one, it weren't the ones that would figure to start for the big one. But yeah, again, those guys are interchangeable. It's a busy schedule. You're going to see everybody in this group play, including Raposo. We've got a lot of games, man. It's going to, and having a 1 month break pretty much is going to make it really packed. So they're all getting plays. Now, midfield to me is the one that's, yes, go for it.
We've got him until the end of 2027.
Oh, okay. All right. Cool. I'm good with that too. All right. Now let's talk about this midfield. Who's back? Who's new? Now, we know Tillman and Delgado are definitely back. Chevalier re-signed a contract. He's back. We've got Evans. We got Igor Jesus on the mend. Terry, like another young face. And then, of course, Boudry, the new face, the new star, the new central attacking midfielder, and potentially Estequillo. Will probably get announced by the time this episode is heard by most of you guys. It looks different to me. It's got a different dynamic, and there's a lot more depth. I dig it. I like the changes. I think we've addressed some things we've been asking for a long time. What do you think, Tony?
I still think we still need a little bit more. It's fine for now, but again, that summer window is going to hit a lot harder than most of the time, and you've seen a lot of MLS teams level up quickly. So for now, I'm okay. But moving forward, we'll see.
Yeah, the summer splash could be there, I would figure. Because, yeah, teams are going to squad up heavy after the World Cup. A lot of new faces. There's going to be a vibe for sure. Araceli, your thoughts? Are you happy with what we're seeing, or do you think we're going to see more coming into that midfield?
Oh, I'm sure we might see one or two more come in, especially with all the tournaments starting up soon. But I mean, for the most part, it looks promising.
There we go. Now, up top is also a big question, right? As now we have this rumor playing with us. Of course, we know who is back. Sonny's back. Bouanga's currently back. Ibobasi's back. Ordaz is back. Martinez is back. Now 20 years old. Wibowo is in the mix. I guess. Yeah, the other new faces, of course, would be Boyd. We know him all too well. And then Schaffelberg, who comes in from Nashville and then immediately goes on to the IR, right? So he's going to be back eventually. But yeah, our new faces so far, it's Schaffelberg and Boyd. Boyd has a history of hurting us really bad in the past. And so, yeah, it's one of those faces, right? But do they fit in? Is it a good move? Is Bouanga staying? That's the big question now that's up in the air. If we were solidly he was staying, it looks good. Bam, I look to you on the offensive side of things, seeing who's up top and who could shuffle around. Thoughts on the two new faces and thoughts on the potential madness if Bouanga leaves?
If Bouanga leaves, I see it just going to be Ordaz Martinez on the outsides until Schaffelberg gets fit. or you could
Okay.
see Boudry push up and all that. Yeah, that's the way I look at it. It's the other new signing, see what happens there, but I don't know. I look at it. We get rid of Bawanga, we bring in another person in that position, and hopefully that they do as well as Bawanga has.
Yeah, that's the hope, the gamble, of course. I mean, Schaffelberg, I see him as, one of those the super sub types. Once he's healthy, he'll come in as needed. Again, he can serve well, he can cross well, things we've lacked at times. Could have used him against Vancouver, to be honest. So that's good. Boyd, I mean, that guy has a lot of tools. I don't think he's a day in, day out, everyday player because of age and mileage, right? But he has his moments, man, and we've seen him burn us in the past big time. I'll go to you, Araceli. Your thoughts about Boyd in this squad?
I definitely see him being that super sub to a certain point. I mean, of course, we still got that question mark on Bawanga. If we're keeping Bawanga, Boyd would more likely be a super sub. But if Bawanga goes, I can see him starting up top with Sonny and maybe our Dawes or Bebelise. I always mispronounce his name.
Ibobase.
Ibobase, there we go. Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, you could also
1:30
see
a.m.
moments where Ibobase, right? Ibobase could be the target man and Sonny goes outside and Martinez on the other side. I mean, again, there's some shuffle here. There's some experience back in this lineup too, with the two coming in. So we'll see. I don't think we're done there yet. That would be right. Again, we love buying wingers, and if one's leaving, we're going to get something good later. That's kind of what we like to do. So we'll see how that plays. So we'll see what happens next. We'll see about the announcement tomorrow. If it is actually Estaquillo, I'm thinking it is, but yeah, you know how that runs. So there it is. That's the current squad list. Let's look forward to seeing how the team plays on Sunday. This is where I'll get an idea of what they're going to look like. That's kind of where we're at for this episode, guys. So I think it is time to definitely call it a night. We'll get back to you next week again to cover the previews. Yeah, it's going to get real tight next week. So on that note, before we go to final thoughts, there are about a couple comments out there. So let's see what you guys have to say before we call it. All right, David Day's in the mix. I see some familiar faces. Nice. Let's go with it. David Day's calling it. We're winning it all in 2026. So there you go. He's also thinking 13 games with Sun and Bawanga together. We had 8 wins, 3 ties, only 2 losses. Projected over a 34 game season. That's a 71 point team if we keep him, right? If that happens, he says MDS will win Coach of the Year. He's excited, guys. He said the LA Coliseum game will set match day revenue record for MLS. I agree on that, especially with the secondary market madness. It's gonna be a busy day, man. That's gonna be nuts. And then David also says all he cares about is the Conca champions this year. MLS Cup and Shield are second and third. So there you go. He's going for that one. And then he says Denny the mercenary Bawanga should stay until after Conca champions. I always laugh when people go with the mercenary comment when it comes to a footballer, because let's be honest, they're all mercenaries. That's the business. Everyone here is a mercenary. They might love the squad, but they're professionals, man. Like they got to feed the family, right? They got to do what's best for them in a very short period of time. So if they're not mercenaries, I don't know. They aren't going to last long in this sport. So there you go. Yeah, I want to see Bawanga last as long as possible. I don't want to see him leave, but if it happens, the nature of the beast. So there you go. Good comments, guys. Love it. Thank you, David, for jumping on late for this one. All right. Now we'll bring it to it. We'll call this one a night. What do we do when we do that? That's right. Our final thoughts. So since Tony looks like he's chill, ready to go, got the World Cup next to him, I'm going to go to him first. So your final thoughts for this evening?
Final thoughts is pretty much just have conversations. The world is kind of crazy. No matter what is going on in the world, is just in the nation. But it's a better way to say it is just just have a conversation. Remember to understand and learn from your history, and moving forward is just just protect your community, protect your neighborhood, and be safe out there.
Well said, sir. Well said. Bam. Final thoughts.
Final thoughts. Although with football starting to ramp up for the MLS, there are some other sporting events going on, like as I said, the Winter Olympics is kicking off, and just looking at it in just under 2 hours, there's a massive event going on between US and Canada at the Winter Olympics. It's a mixed doubles round robin of curling. So if you're up and about and you can't sleep, highly recommend watch it. It's an amazing sport. Get into it. Get into some of the Winter Olympics. You know, it's not often that you'll see some of this stuff, let alone know about some of this stuff. You also got the ice hockey as well, the luge, the skeleton, the bobsled, all those great sports that you only care about once every 4 years. Get in there, watch some of it, have a good laugh, pretend for like 20 minutes you're a professional at this sport. You should know what they're doing, whether it's curling and they should be brooming harder or softer. You know, become that keyboard professional at it, and that's what we want to see. As Tony was saying, mental health does matter. It's something that's very important to everyone. If you need help, reach out and get the help you need. For those in the LA County area, you got the LA County Department of Mental Health hotline, the 24/7 helpline. It's 800-854-7771. Or if you don't feel like physically talking, you can text and online chat. All you do is text to 988 and they'll get you the help that you need.
Well said, sir. Always looking out for our community. That's for sure. In terms of the Winter Olympics vibe, guys, Jamaica has a bobsled team. They're back and they're good. Like, if you know it, you know, right? I mean, who doesn't know Cool Runnings, right? But now it's legit, man. They have a good bobsled team, so check them out. And yeah, curling is always a blast. I love curling. Who doesn't love? How do you not? Right? It's got all the elements there. And Canada-US rivalry. I mean, it's Canada's kind of national sport, to be honest, outside of hockey. Um, yeah, it's some good stuff right there. There's drama. Watch it. Have fun. Those who need to be elbows out, everybody. You know how that runs. So yeah, go for it. Have fun with it. Araceli, I'll throw it over to you. Your final thoughts.
Final thoughts for me, just like as you heard us talk about throughout this entire episode, the MLS and Next Pro seasons are starting to shape up. They're both kicking off very soon here. So we're just getting ready for that. So prepare yourselves for all the craziness. Hopefully it's still good fun. Don't get me wrong, but it's buckle yourselves in for a wild ride. Otherwise, I just wish everyone a fun and safe weekend, whether if you're going to watch the Olympics somewhere, going to one of these supporter meetups, or even a Super Bowl party, or let's be honest, it's more of a Bad Bunny concert at this point. But regardless, it's sure to be a fun weekend. And even over here in KC, the weather is finally getting nice. We're getting more World Cup news. I don't know if any of you have been following it, but officially Argentina, England, Netherlands, Algeria, they are making KC their base camp. So this city is going crazy, just getting those last minute repairs and just getting prepared for it. It's been a long 4 years. So in a way, I'm ready for it to be over, because if I see another construction cone, oh my God.
Oh, man, it takes me back talking about camps. I remember sneaking into the U.S. camp before the '94 World Cup as a kid, getting all the autographs from the team. Bruce Murray, you were the man back then, making sure that everybody got the autographs taken care of. But yeah, it's good memories, and kids, I hopefully will get the same thing that I got back in the day, right? Really brighten them up with the sport and what it should be outside of all this money madness and everything else. So yeah, good on you, Araceli, bringing up those camps, man, because they're going to be all over the place. Definitely, guys, look it up. And sometimes you get really cool autograph opportunities because of that. That being said, as they've all mentioned already, look out for your community, especially those that are stepping up when they need to step up, that are giving voice, right, for what's important in this world and in this country, and looking out for the rights of others beyond themselves. Good on you guys for doing that. Keep it up. I've seen it in the streets. I'm proud of the people that are doing this. It's good on them. We'll all get our moment when we need to. That's for sure. But yeah, don't let up. That's for sure. On that note, season upon us. Looking forward to seeing y'all next week. We'll get a little more preview going. We'll get more clarity as to who's on this squad. And yeah, you know how that runs. On that note, the final word. It's what we always do. So I'll go to Tony first. That's right. You started it. You're back at it again, sir. Final word.
Stay golden, Los Angeles.
Bam.
Stay golden.
Araceli.
Stay golden.
And for me to all of you, stay golden, Los Angeles.
Thank you for listening to the Heart of LAFC. Make sure to leave us a rating and review on iTunes or Stitcher. Shoulder to shoulder, the black and gold is taking over.